What is up, everybody? This is Brian, the Toyota guy over here at Fred Anderson Toyota in Asheville. And I wanted to go ahead and make a quick video because I saw that there was a press release that came out, or a pricing announcement or whatever, that came out from Toyota. This actually came out about a week or so ago when they came out with the pricing. And I thought there was a lot of interesting information about the 24 Tacomas on this. And I just wanted to kind of go through and explain some of the stuff to you guys so you know what's coming. We're supposed to be getting, I know Southeast Toyota is supposed to be getting their first allocations next week, or at least in the next allocation, which we're told might be late next week or so. It's about like the second or third week here in December. So yeah, I'm just going to jump right into this. So of course, just to rehash, there are two powertrain options for the Tundra, or this Tacoma rather. The first one is the iForce, which is the 2.4 liter turbo 4-cylinder. And then, of course, you have the hybrid option, which is the iForce Max, as they call it. Specs on those for the gas model is 278 horsepower and 317 foot-pounds of torque. So already a nice upgrade on the torque, at least, over the outgoing V6. The iForce Max, the hybrid one, is going to have 326 horsepower and 465 foot-pounds of torque. So obviously that's going to be really exciting to see. Can't wait to drive that. There's been some changes on manual transmissions. So oddly enough, for the first time in honestly forever, they apparently are going to have the SR Tacoma is going to have a configuration where you can get a 6-speed manual transmission with that. So I'll be curious to see if that's on double cabs only or what, because I don't think it breaks this down if that's going to be for all body styles or just certain ones. But that's going to be interesting to see the base model SR have the manual transmission. I'm going to like that. They also have the 6-speed manual transmission for the TRD Sport and the TRD Off-Road, which was how they had it before. Now, interestingly enough, I am looking over here where they're talking about the iForce Max with the Pre-Runner, the Pro, the Trail Hunter, some of these here. None of these, from what I'm seeing, right now are listed as having a 6-speed manual transmission. So that's kind of a big deal because previous to now you could get a TRD Pro in a manual transmission. And at least from what I'm seeing on this sheet here, it looks like they are no longer doing that. But the Pre-Runner is one that I am going to be interested in because it's going to have the 2.4 liter turbo engine. It's going to be only sold as an extra cab with the 6-foot bed, and it's going to come with the TRD wheels and the electronic locking rear diff. So it's going to have basically the same differential as the off-road. I think that's going to be kind of neat. I think that's actually going to remind me a lot of the, what was it called? That supercharged 2-wheel drive Tacoma they had a few years back. Because I feel like if you want to build a street truck or have some fun with something, that'd be a fun one to get in a 2-wheel drive, lower it, maybe up the boost or something like that and have some fun, or make it like a desert runner or something like that. But the TRD Pro and the Trail Hunter, those are going to be obviously the top end of the off-roads. Those are only going to have the iForce Max, and I'm pretty sure that's why I'm seeing that they don't have that manual transmission offered there. So that'll be curious to see, but it looks like no manual for those. Now, interestingly enough, the TRD Pro, just to go over the basics on that, it's got the TRD Tune 2.5-inch Fox lift with the rear piggyback style remote reservoirs. The TRD Pro is going to have, and I don't think it's got it listed as standard or optional, but they are going to have the ISO dynamic performance front seats, which I still think are a package, not standard. Could be wrong on that, but those are going to be the seats that have the dampeners in them. If you haven't seen photos of these, they are sick. I've not seen one in person, but from looking at the photos, it's awesome. It's supposed to give you the availability to have a little bit of cushion on the seat. So if you're off-roading or something, you've got basically some struts on the seat that will kind of move and bounce around. So if the truck's jostling and doing all this stuff, you're a lot more comfortable in the car versus just getting thrown around. So I'll be super excited to see those for myself in person. And then what they list here for the Trail Hunter, which I don't even think I'm prepared to see the pricing on the Pro and the Trail Hunter with what they're including here. But the Trail Hunter is going to have Old Man Emu 2.5-inch forged monotube position-sensitive shocks with rear piggyback-style remote reservoirs. So it looks like it's going to have pretty much the same suspension lift or height as the Pro. It says it's going to have, of course, the high clearance front bumper rock rails, ARB steel rear bumper. There's some photos out there of that as well. Looks great. It's going to have recovery hooks and the ARB sport bar, which is a pretty cool looking piece if you like that look. Now, interestingly, they are going to allow the Trail Hunter to exist in the double cab with the 5-foot bed and a 6-foot bed. And I imagine the reason why they might want to have the 6-foot bed option there is if you are into these trucks, and you're probably familiar with the camper options, because A, that would be a perfect to throw like a slide in or a slider camper, or that'd be a great one if you wanted to put like a larger like rooftop tent or bed mounted tent in the truck. So that's going to be interesting to see. Let's see if there's any other major things to talk about the differences. TRD Off-Road, of course, has Bilstein shocks. It does has Bilstein monotube shocks with remote reservoirs. So that'll be kind of nice because I don't think they've had the remote reservoirs on the previous ones. They've just been built in. So that'll be even an upgrade from there. Limited is supposed to have adaptive variable suspension, AVS. I'm not sure the specifics on that, but I'm betting that's going to be, I think that might have been what they've had already with the Limiteds. I know Forerunners have had a similar setup with that, where they've got more electronically controlled dampening with the shocks and how they resist bumps and things. So that's probably what that is. Maybe I'm just seeing it for the first time and it's been on the Limiteds the whole time. All right, so now let's talk about some of the pricing and production stuff. So here is everything that's going to be in production. They basically break it down by what's going to be in production starting now in December 23, and then what's going to be available in March of 24. So just to kind of break it down, it looks like the only SRs that are going to be available at least until March, and I can't explain why it's like this, but it looks like the SR double cab 2-wheel drive automatic. You've got the SR double cab in manual transmission. So there's the manual transmission on those. With the 4-wheel drive is going to be available starting in December. They've got the 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive 5 and 6-foot bed SR5s that are going to be available. They've got TRD Sports, TRD Off-Road, and the Limiteds. So those are all going to be in production starting this month. And then the stuff that you're going to have to wait for until March is, actually, it's mainly all of the, oddly enough, it's all the extra cabs. That's everything. SR Extra Cab, SR and SR5, TRD Pre-Runner and SR5. And then it's not broken down on this. I don't think, for some reason, I've missed that. But, oh no, it is right here. So, the availability on the TRD Pre-Runner, which is kind of what I just read off the other list, is going to be March of 2024 is when those are going to start production. TRD Pro and Trail Hunter are going to be April 2024. So when I saw this information, it was news to me, and that's why I figured I'd share it with you guys, because then everybody's asking about specifically the Pro and the Trail Hunter. And given how Toyota does things, if these aren't even going to be in production until April, I don't think we're going to even have pricing updates on much of that really until March. Speaking of pricing, the entry-level MSRP on a SR Extra Cab, this is posted around everywhere at this point now, but it looks like base MSRP on an SR 2-wheel drive is going to be $31,500. Now, that's not the landed price. That's not including any dealer report installed accessories. It's not including the delivery, which is like $1,300 to $1,600 depending on where you are. The spread for a SR5 and a 4-wheel drive with a 5-foot bed, those are going to start about $40,400. All of these are going to be a little more than the outgoing Tacoma, which unfortunately makes sense with the level of technology that's going in these cars nowadays. A TRD Off-Road in a 4-wheel drive with a manual transmission is going to be $41,800. Looks like TRD Sport now. TRD Sport and TRD Off-Road are going to have the same MSRP on a manual transmission, $41,800. Which is interesting because in the past, TRD Sports were cheaper than TRD Off-Roads. So they've got those paralleled now. Now, once we get up to the Limited, it looks like from what I'm seeing on what I've got in my hands here, they're only going to offer the Limited in a double cab, 5-foot, a 4-wheel drive with automatic, of course. And starting MSRP on that's going to be $52,100. And again, that's going to be in production this month. There are some interesting things that are broken down by options. Let me take a look at that and see if there's some of this I want to talk about. So it looks like on the SR, some of the options that you can get is you can get the deck rail and the cleats. There is an SR upgrade package, which is $1,500. I don't yet know what that is. And then you've got mud guards, and then SRs do have the towing package that you can get, which is $540. So keep an eye on that because they don't come standard with it. On SR5s, they have, oh, this is new. So SR5s are going to have an option. It's going to be a $585 option for heated seats. So that's going to be interesting because SR5s previously have not had that. It's only been on the premium package for the off-road and the sport, and of course pros and limited. They do have a SR5/TRD pre-runner upgrade, as well as the SR5 upgrade plus heat. So I imagine that's going to be whatever that upgrade package is plus heated seats. Those packages range between basically $2,000 and $3,000, actually $3,700 depending on the model and what all comes with that. Looking at the TRD Sport, heated seats, there's a 14-inch premium display. Let's see, premium audio, long bed with the inverter, mud guards, of course. There is a moonroof option, of course. They've had that before. There's a TRD Sport premium package, TRD Sport upgrade package, and the pre-runner upgrade. Now, the TRD Sport premium package, this is pretty similar to what they've had on their vehicles now, but I don't know the exact breakdown of what it has. But typically, it's the premium audio with the larger screen, which in this case is 14-inch, comes with the heated seats, probably has the sunroof, at least that they're going the way that they have done so far, and generally has JBL. So I don't know if that's going to carry over here, but keep in mind, if you're looking for that package, depending on how it is, TRD Sport and TRD Sport Upgrade, it's pretty pricey. The packages, the upgrade is basically $4,600, and the premium is $8,600, give or take. So that's a pretty pricey package, and again, I don't know the exact breakdown of that. And then the off-road pretty much has the same options. Moonroof, there's the premium and the upgrade package. This is neat. So I remember hearing this in the press release, but the off-roads are going to have an optional stabilizer disconnect mechanism, which they call SDM. So that's going to be the acronym for it. It's not expensive, really. It's $1,230. So I guess that's going to be the disconnecting sway bars like you'd get on a Wrangler Rubicon. That's pretty cool. It's kind of like KDSS on the 4Runner. It's kind of a similar setup there. So I think that is really everything that I was wanting to share off this today. Hopefully this wasn't a boring presentation of this data. I obviously just can't upload this stuff and share it with everybody because I don't think it's for that, but I feel like if they're giving us this to talk about with you guys as customers, I have no problem sharing that with you on a video, as we are constantly getting questions on these Tacomas. So as we get more information, and definitely as we get more on our allocation system, and absolutely when we get our very first one and I can do kind of like a reaction video, a hands-on, I'll be doing that. So if you want to check out more content on these new Tacomas, new 4Runners in the future, any of that kind of stuff, feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you want to know any specific information about Toyotas, want me to make a video on anything that's got to do with Toyota news or new cars or systems or processes, feel free to leave me a comment down below. But as always, thanks for watching and have a great day.